After Real Madrid's elimination from the UEFA Champions League and the team's overall struggles throughout the season, whether due to the decline in performance of many players or injuries, especially in the defensive line, it seems the club is on the verge of a major overhaul this summer. However, this change is likely to be delayed until after the FIFA Club World Cup, as the team is heavily relying on a successful participation in the tournament. It is highly probable that Carlo Ancelotti will not oversee these changes, as reliable sources have confirmed that a decision has already been made to part ways with him at the end of the season. Both Xabi Alonso and Julian Nagelsmann, often referred to as Klopp, are among the main candidates. Regardless of the identity of the new coach, it is not expected to significantly affect Real Madrid's plans in the summer transfer market. It has become clear which players are most likely to leave, along with the signings the club is targeting. Therefore, as part of the Mr. Rovo series on the big European clubs' transfer markets, we will present Real Madrid's summer revolution, including the list of candidates for departure and potential signings. Welcome to Mr. Rovo's channel. Feel free to support us with a like and subscribe to the channel if your life is not in danger. Now, let's go. Departures. Álvaro Rodríguez. The young player Álvaro Rodríguez, aged 19, is expected to return from his loan to Getafe after the current season ends. His situation at Real Madrid will be assessed to determine the next step, but there is a high likelihood that the team will allow him to continue developing through another loan to a different team next season. Rodríguez will need more experience in official matches, so he is likely to stay in Spain or move to a club that aligns with his aspirations. Reinier Jesus. As for Reinier Jesus, aged 23, his loan to Granada will also end, and he may face a fate similar to Rodríguez's after the season. If the player has not shown significant improvement in his level or is not part of the coach's plans, he is likely to be sold permanently if the right opportunity arises. This is especially true since Jesus is at a stage in his career where he needs new challenges. If there is interest from other clubs or better opportunities to play professionally outside Real Madrid, selling him will be a viable option. Jesus Vallejo. The Spanish defender's contract with Real Madrid expires at the end of the current season, and several sources have confirmed that the club does not plan to renew his contract. As a result, the player will leave the team on a free transfer. In light of this news, Rayo Vallecano has shown interest in signing the defender during the upcoming summer transfer window. The player is awaiting an official offer from Rayo Vallecano or other clubs interested in his services. Lucas Vázquez. Similar to Vallejo, the 33-year-old winger's contract expires at the end of the season. Journalist Fabrizio Romano confirmed that no renewal talks have taken place, suggesting that the player is closer to leaving. According to Relief Network, the current matches may be his last wearing the Real Madrid jersey, with a 2-year offer from Saudi club Al Qadisiyah on the table. Fran Garcia. The 25-year-old player has not yet convinced Real Madrid's coaching staff with his performance, raising questions about his future with the team. According to Fichajes Network, Italian club Juventus has shown interest in the player, which could open up an opportunity for him to move to Serie A. Mendy. The 29-year-old has struggled with recurring injuries that have notably affected his performance in recent times. If a suitable offer arrives, it is possible that the player could leave Real Madrid this summer. The club may decide to take advantage of any opportunity to sell if the conditions are favorable. Mendy might be awaiting offers from other clubs that could be interested in signing him if the opportunity arises. David Alaba. As newspaper confirmed that Real Madrid has made a final decision not to renew the contract of the Austrian defender, which expires in the summer of 2026. The club has a serious intention to put him up for sale this summer to benefit financially from the deal and relieve the burden of his high salary, which exceeds €10 million annually. Alaba, 32 years old, has attracted interest from Turkish club Beşiktaş, as well as some clubs in the Saudi Pro League. Luka Modric. So far, there is no agreement between Real Madrid and the 39-year-old Croatian star to renew his contract, which expires at the end of this summer, despite the player's clear desire to stay with the team. According to journalist Fabrizio Romano, the decision on this matter has been postponed until the end of the season, which was also confirmed by Marca newspaper. They also mentioned that Modric has offers from clubs in Saudi Arabia and Qatar, while retirement remains an option as well. Aurélien Tchouaméni. The performance levels of the French midfielder have varied, which makes him a potential departure if Real Madrid receives an attractive offer. Currently, there are talks of interest from Liverpool and Manchester City for his services. Eduardo Camavinga. Although Eduardo Camavinga's departure is not a priority for Real Madrid at the moment, a significant offer could change the situation and make it an appealing deal for the club. Camavinga, who is one of the brightest young talents in midfield, is being monitored by both Manchester clubs. If he receives a suitable offer from either of these clubs, it could open the door for his departure from the Bernabeu, especially if the deal strengthens Real Madrid's financial position or gives them the opportunity to sign other players. Arda Güler. The Turkish star has not received enough playing time this season, which opens the door for a potential departure, either on loan or even permanently if he receives an irresistible offer. According to the Cot Offside network, several big clubs are interested in signing him, including Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, and both Inter and Milan. Vinicius Jr. Despite earlier reports of him rejecting several Saudi offers, including a huge one from Al Hilal, Jose Felix Diaz, the editor-in-chief of Marca newspaper, recently confirmed that the player remains a priority for Al Hilal. Other sources have also reported that Al Ahly Saudi club has entered negotiations. Between now and the end of the season, much could change. The incoming players. Trent Alexander-Arnold. The English right-back, Alexander-Arnold, is likely to be Real Madrid's first summer signing after he rejected all of Liverpool's offers to renew his contract, which expires at the end of the season. According to journalist Fabrizio Romano, Alexander-Arnold's move to Real Madrid on a free transfer is in its final stages. Sky Sports also confirmed that the club is trying to reach an agreement with Liverpool that would allow the player to join a month before the end of his contract, in exchange for a financial compensation so that he can be registered in the team's squad for the Club World Cup. Dean Huijsen. Young Spanish defender Dean Huijsen is a target for several major European clubs, but Real Madrid seems the closest to securing the deal due to an advantage that could give them an edge over their competitors. According to sources close to Real Madrid's management, the club was aware of Huijsen's potential, but they also discovered that he has the right character to play for the royal team. The most important factor is that the player himself is a fan of the Blancos, which could ease the transfer process. The Spanish club's management believes that Huijsen will blend well with Raúl Asensio, and they could form a strong partnership in the future. Nuno Mendes. The left-back could be an option if either Fran Garcia or Ferland Mendy leaves, and with the possibility of David Alaba also departing, Real Madrid will inevitably move to sign a new left-back. There are several options, but the most prominent, and perhaps the most difficult, is Nuno Mendes, the Paris Saint-Germain player, especially given the strained relationship between the two clubs. Theo Hernandez. The former Real Madrid fullback, currently with Milan, remains a target for the Royal Club, and the possibility of his return could be reopened during the summer transfer window. As for defense, Real Madrid might consider re-signing their former defender, Mario Quila, who is currently excelling at Lazio, according to Relief Network. The club holds a clause in the player's contract that facilitates his return, offering the opportunity to benefit from him both technically and financially, given the significant interest from major clubs in the 24-year-old, including Inter Milan, Juventus, and some Premier League teams. Juan Garcia. According to Football España, Real Madrid is considering signing a new goalkeeper to be a long-term replacement for Thibaut Courtois, a direct competitor to Andriy Lunin, or even to replace him if he decides to leave. Juan Garcia, the Espanyol goalkeeper, tops the list of candidates, and he is also receiving interest from English club Arsenal. The goalkeeper has a release clause in his contract worth €30 million, which could drop by half if his club is relegated to the second division. Rodri. There has been recent talk about Real Madrid president Florentino Perez's admiration for Manchester City's Rodri. and the club could move to sign him if the right opportunity arises. Wirtz. Bayer Leverkusen's player is at the center of an intense race between top European clubs, particularly Manchester City and Real Madrid. However, he could become the top choice for Los Blancos if Xabi Alonso takes over as coach. Bild newspaper recently reported that Wirtz prefers to join Real Madrid, as it would offer him a better chance to win the Champions League and secure the Ballon d'Or. Haaland. He tops the list of options in the event that a transfer occurs, despite having renewed his contract with Manchester City until the summer of 2034 with no release clause. However, El Nacional reported that the Norwegian could leave City at the end of the season if the team fails to qualify for the Champions League. Other reports also mentioned a clause that would allow him to leave if he wishes, but of course this would be after negotiations with his club. Finally, my friends, especially Real Madrid fans, who do you prefer as a replacement for Ancelotti? Is it Xabi Alonso